Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of die mastery for you. We're going to look at the new Fine Frames dies from Altenew. They recently came out with a new square die set and a diamond die set. And once you have these cut out, you can see you get these beautiful, amazingly thin frames. And I don't know that you could get any thinner with them, but they are just gorgeous. But the problem is that when you cut them out, sometimes they can be a little bit unruly, right? You're not going to have perfect lines. If you're doing a thinner cardstock, they're going to be a little wonky. And all of a sudden you might have a diamond that's like completely out of shape. And you're like, oh, that doesn't look really great on my project. So how are we going to get these to line up perfect and look like diamonds or squares exactly the way that they're intended to be? And I'm going to show you how. All right, so pretty simply what I did is I created templates for each of these dies, and I did that with some thick cardstock. So this is 110-pound cardstock, and I saved the insides and the outsides of them so that way I could use them as templates for various situations. So I even have this one done up, and then I have the opposites here. So this is based on the outside. You can use either one depending on your situation and however that may work for you. So today I'm going to show you using the outside and then maybe I'll do an inside one. So actually let's start with an inside one and then go with the outside afterwards. So the inside one, it's basically, I mean, both of these are basically going to work the same way. So I'm using some temporary adhesive and I just need to put it exactly where I want it to go. So as you can see, sometimes you may want to use the inner pattern, sometimes you may want to use the outer pattern, just kind of depending on how you want to, what you want to be able to see. This would be ideal if you're trying to frame a word in the center here. You'd want to have the outside one so you could see what's going on inside, and then you could make sure that your diamond goes around, or your square, whatever thin frame shape. So from there, I just go ahead and use my preferred adhesive, and my Tombow is going all over the place. So if you don't have mastery of Tombow, I would use a sponge dauber to sponge this on. And I'm doing this kind of lightly, but you can add quite a bit and it does get sticky pretty quick. All right, so I've got some Tombow on there, and then I'm just going to go right up along the edges here. All right, and if I've got enough adhesive on here, it's going to adhere itself. And I have sticky fingers now, so excuse me. All right, but I've got this down now. There we go. All right, and then I can go ahead and pick up my outer stencil frame, and I have a perfect diamond. Now, if I have any residue left over, I can just use a adhesive eraser and pop that off. All right. So that is how you would use the outside. Now, if I was going to do my next largest one, I probably would continue to use the outside ones so that way I could make sure that I had perfect placement all the way around. Now, if I wanted to do an inside one, however, let me grab, this is the inside for that one. Let me grab an even smaller one. There we go. So if I wanted to do like this little inside diamond, and say I just wanted to put a little spot there, again, I would just use my temporary adhesive to get that in place wherever it was I wanted it. And then take my small diamond. Now these small ones, they don't move as much as the larger ones, right? Because they're so petite. They just don't have, there's not a lot of room for it to get all wonky. All right, so I have some glue around the edges there. And I'm just going to match that right up. All right, and then I can just go ahead and just bend slightly to lift my template out of the center. And there, now I have another perfect diamond in place. And again, If I need to grab any of that temporary adhesive, I can do so with my adhesive remover. And there we go. So let's do one more example here. And for this one, I can risk it. Let's just pretend there's nothing underneath there, right? So I'll put some temporary adhesive on here. Pop that into place. And then this larger one is going to go all the way around that. So, and I think my glue is dried on there. All right, if you have mastery of your Tombow, you can get just those little teeny tiny dots. And that's what I tend to do. Just get little tiny drops. Because it doesn't have to be perfectly smeared all the way around. Just enough to hold everything down, right? All right, and then just going to match it up along the edges. There we go. And I can use my adhesive remover while this is still in position, so that way it gives it a minute to dry, but I can clean up my adhesive at the same time. All right, make any other little minor adjustments I need. There we go. And go ahead and lift that off. And you can see I've got another perfect diamond right in place. All right, so I hope this helps you to have some real great mastery of these beautiful fine frames dies. They are absolutely stunning and worth the time and effort that it takes to put these in place. So thanks for stopping by today. I will have some more mastery tips for you soon, but until next time, happy crafting.